What's up YouTube, it's Truth TV NZ here, and today we're going to be recording another video. Right now, I'm recording right next to a totalitarian building. I wish I could show you where it is, but I kind of want to keep my anonymity and privacy in check. So, yeah, without further ado, let's get into the topic of the video. Today we're going to be talking about my thoughts on the Millennial reign being over and Israel, the Holy Land, potentially being in North America. Now, for anyone who doesn't know about what these ideas are, basically these are some high-level truth things, some high-level conspiracies that have been talked about in truth channel circles and truther circles. Basically, the idea is that there was like some kind of massive reset and massive hijack, and basically when the power elite and the Illuminati conquered the world and stuff. I assume that if you are watching this, you would know something about this, but if you don't, you should check that stuff out as well as trying to check this content out. But basically, the idea is that when the Illuminati and the Freemasons and the power elite and stuff, they took over the world and they set up the system that we live in, you know, the system that enslaved us and all that kind of stuff, man. Basically, the idea is that these guys, they like rewrote history and stuff, and they like covered up everything, and they basically try to make up fake history for stuff. So basically, the idea in both of these ideas is that there's been some massive Bible hijack of fake history, and that the power elite and the Freemasons, Illuminati and stuff, and the cultists and all that have basically hidden our true history, and they've hidden like the truth, like true stuff about the Bible, and they've hijacked it basically. So, you know, to explain each one with more, less fakeness, well, first of all, we're going to be talking about the Millennial reign. Basically, the idea is that in the New Testament and stuff, the prophecies that Jesus talked about in the book of Revelation and the Gospels, basically the idea is that instead of them happening in the future, like them being events that happen in the future, like Left Behind or whatever, they're basically supposed to be, like, they're basically things that have supposedly already happened. Like, basically, the idea is basically saying that Jesus Christ, he already came back to Earth, and he reigned over the Earth for 1,000 years. Like in the book of Revelations, it talks about how when Jesus comes back, he's gonna reign over the Earth like 1,000 years. And basically, the idea is that Jesus already reigned for like 1,000 years, and that afterwards, after Satan got let loose, after the 1,000 years was up, Satan was like let loose, and he went and deceived the nations, which basically means like conquering the nations and like getting into occultism and stuff and like deceiving them. And he basically made it so like, you know, we're under his little season, so we're basically living in a regime and like a world government or like some kind of like mock world system made by Satan and stuff, like basically like a world government, man, that we don't know about, and basically we're living under his dominion. That's like why this world sucks so much. That's like why we have all this like Freemason Illuminati stuff, like why we have like, I don't know, man, fake false flag shootings, like whatever, or like, well, why we have poison in our cereal and have like fluoride in our stuff, man. Basically, like, that's the idea, because I guess a lot of Christians, they started to figure out that some of these like prophecies in the New Testament, like, it seems like they were supposed to happen like right when like Jesus was talking about it, but they apparently haven't happened yet. Apparently they're for us 2,000 years in the future. But like, to also go tie into the Israel as America idea, because I've kind of like discovered them both at the same time, because it was one truth channel called 2031 Truth Channel. Basically, the Israel's in America idea is basically the idea that instead of the Middle East, that the Holy Land of the Bible was actually supposed to be in North America. Some people say that it was in different places like Texas or Peru, or like even like Canada and stuff, in Quebec. But the one I'm assuming with is the Northwest America one, like it being in Utah. There's a whole group of people who like try to figure this stuff out. And basically the idea is that all the events of the Bible took place in America, and depending on like what kind of person you talk to, it was either all the events of the Old Covenant, like the Old Testament, or like the stuff, or like everything, because there's like people who like, there's like Christians and like Old Covenant Israelites who both believe in this idea. But anyway, that's the idea, and the reason why I want to lump them two together is because I discovered them at the same time. Like, there was this truth channel I discovered called 2031 Truth Channel. I was like going through a hard time, and I discovered his channel. I started to watch his videos. He started talking about how like Israel was in America, and there was like a channel we shouted. I decided to basically check his stuff out, and it was like I have like I checked out the channel and stuff. I started to like get into like all this Israel is America stuff, and I started to like really get into it. And it's like I found like both of these possibilities hard to accept. Like the possibility that like all of our history was rewritten and stuff, and that like the land of the Bible that I believe was in the Middle East was actually like on another continent was pretty hard for me to like those possibilities were hard for me to accept. Like. And I'm somebody who's been into truth content for quite a while. Like, I got into this when I was like 13, 14, so I've been into this for like a while, man. But like, yeah, it was like pretty hard for me to like accept, and due to that, like those hardships due to like the hard times I was having with like hearing those ideas, I kind of came up with like a lot of interesting ideas about it. I spent a lot of time thinking about it, because I was like trying to figure out how to process it. So basically, I want to talk about my thoughts on both of those ideas. I want to give a rundown, and then I want to talk on like my deep thoughts and stuff, and like basically try to explain like how I like see this within my worldview. Because as a truth channel and a truther, I try to like as like a free thinker basically. I try to like think about things in my own way. I always try to think outside of the box, and even when it comes to truth content, I try to like think about my take on them, and instead of just believing what someone else says about it. I can consider a lot of things, but I try to have my own ideas about it. So yeah, for like the millennial reign idea, basically in a nutshell, I think that idea could actually be true. Like I think it could be true. Like I don't think it necessarily explains every question we have about the reset. I feel like it's a little bit simplistic, and it might be like a little bit far-fetched to me, but I don't think it's impossible. Like I think it's possible, and if I saw like more evidence that it was true, or like I somehow had some like prophetic dream or vision that it was true, then yeah, I probably believe it. But like for me, I just feel like the problem I have with it is I feel like there could be other explanations to it. Like, you know, for example, if we're gonna go into Bible prophecy, when Jesus was talking about that stuff, I think maybe you could have been talking about reset or something, right? Like, you could have been talking about other things. But also, I just think that there are other things for the reset. Now, don't get me wrong. I completely, fully believe that there has been a reset that happened. I think that explains, one, a lot of our historical inconsistencies. Two, a lot of other historical things that don't make sense. And three, why our system is the way it is and why we have totalitarian architecture. Like, I think there was a reset, dude. But I think there's, like, more to it than what we think, which is what I also plan to talk about in this video. Now, if Israel being in America, what I think is, I actually think it's possible. I actually genuinely think it's possible, but I don't think it necessarily negates anything else that you could believe, because I think that, you know, basically I was, like, talking to this, like, this new covenant Israelite and stuff. He follows the New Testament, but he, like, believes, like, Israel's in America. I was asking him, yo, dude, if you think that, like, Israel's in America and stuff, why do you... How could everything in the New Testament happen? Like, and I was like asking this because most people who believe that Israel's in America, they don't believe in the New Testament. They think that Jesus didn't exist, or they think he was like a false prophet. That's fine. I don't mind like their beliefs, but I was like genuinely curious, and he said basically it was a reset. So I don't think this negates it, but yeah, to basically go over my notes, here's the stuff that I think could be true if these things are true, and here's what I think is going on if both of these ideas are true, or like at least one of them is true. Like, you know, I think that if the millennial reign's over and Israel's in America, I still think that Hinduism and Buddhism could be true. And the reason why I think they're true is basically because I've read the Bible front to back, I've read the Bhagavad Gita, and I've like looked into like the idea, I've like researched the idea that Jesus could have went to India. Like, I've heard this idea that Jesus, like, went to India and stuff, and there's actually quite a few similarities between Hinduism and Buddhism and, like, Christianity. Like, if you read the Bible and you like read some of the Hindu and Buddhist scriptures like back to back, you'll kind of see that there are quite a lot of similarities to both of them. Like you'll see that if you read like the Buddhist texts and stuff, like the Dhammapada and stuff, you'll see that like the Buddha had quite similar teachings to Jesus. Like there being a lot of comparisons. Like I'm not the only one saying this. There's a lot of people who think this. And if you read the Bhagavad Gita and stuff, there actually are some things that like were similar to like what Jesus did. Like Jesus walked in water and stuff, and Buddha walked in water. Like Christian, like Jesus resurrected the dead and stuff, and like Krishna resurrected the dead. So it seems like they must have somehow figured out the same way how to do the same thing. Like I'm not saying that they're the same person or anything. They could have been individual, like just different people and stuff. But like, it's like maybe like Jesus would have had to like learn that somehow. Like I don't think he just did that because he had just had powers. I think he would have learned that if this stuff did happen. But like, if you read like even if like the New Testament isn't like real, if it's like fake or whatever, I still think there could be a connection between Hinduism and Buddhism and like the Bible. Like I've actually like read the Bhagavad Gita and the Book of Proverbs, and there's actually like some things that are really similar. Like there's this verse in Proverbs which is, there's a way which is good to a man, but it leads to destruction in the end. It's repeated twice in the Book of Proverbs, so it's obviously important. And there's this verse in the Bhagavad Gita said, there's something that tastes like nectar at first, and then tastes bitter afterwards. Basically the idea is like, there's often like things we do in life, or like things that happen that we think are like good, like we think they're good, like say partying, drinking, smoking weed and stuff like that, having lots of casual sex, like it feels good at the start, right? But afterwards you feel like absolute crap. Like it kind of leads to your life going hill. Like you smoke lots of weed, you get like kind of lazy, or like you have tons of casual sex. Well, you got like STDs and stuff, right? And like you just waste your life. So it's like, it seems like there's an idea that can be found both in a Hindu text and like a biblical text, like two religions that ain't supposed to be connected, like. And this was like written by Solomon, and Solomon, he actually had a connection between lots of nations, between India. So basically the point I'm trying to make is there's like a lot of similarities between Hinduism and Buddhism and like Christianity and the Bible. So, I really feel like, I don't think that's for nothing. I don't think that's a coincidence. So I don't think that like this connection is moot just because the millennial reign might be over, Israel might be in America. Like I think this stuff can still be true, man. And it's like, there's like other things out here and stuff. Like the Gospel of John and the Bhagavad Gita have a similar saying too. I could get into this for hours, but basically what I'm saying is that I think there's a connection. It's like, I was getting to this guy called Paramahansa Yogananda and stuff, and I was like looking at how the millennial reign was over, and I was like, man, dude, this guy seems so legitimate. This guy seems so genuine. And I was just thinking to myself, was everything this guy did for nothing? Like, was this guy's work for nothing? Like, it seems like he really had a mission to try and like spread Hinduism, to try to like, I don't know, look at all these try to like spread this truth and make these like true connections and try to like, I don't know, maybe stop unhijack Christianity, because I think Christianity got hijacked. Maybe he was supposed to unhijack Christianity, but if the millennial reign's over and stuff and all that, then was that stuff for nothing? If Israel's in America, does that make what he did fake? In my opinion, it doesn't, because this guy just seems so legitimate and genuine. There just seems to be like so much truth in Hinduism, and so many like connections in it and stuff and all that. So really, my idea with this is that, I think that somehow, if Israel was in America and stuff, and Jesus, no way happened, I think that like Jesus could have like still went over and stuff, and went and like he could have went to India. Like let's say like Israel was in Northwest America, like around California and Utah. Well, it's like Jesus, he could have got a boat and stuff, he sailed to India or something, or he could have like, I don't know, traveled through like land or something. Maybe it was like all connected or something, right? So yeah, man, I think that like, overall, I think like Hinduism and Buddhism could still be true. Like even if millennial reign's over and Israel's in America and stuff. And yeah, which kind of leads me to like another thought. I think that like if the millennial reign is over and stuff, and Satan like really, if we really are in Satan's little season, then I think this kind of proves to me that Christianity's been hijacked. Like people, like a lot of people have like talked about how Christianity's been hijacked. There's like been a lot of like things, lots of evidence that Christianity's been hijacked, and there's like a lot of historical things that shows that Christianity's been used as like a force to control people and stuff. And it seems like, it's like strange. It seems like there's so much truth and stuff in the Bible. It seems like there's so many true things in the Bible, yet it doesn't. Yet it seems like there's so much like nefarious stuff going on. It's like we have like all this like, we hear the stuff about how Catholic priests and stuff, pedophiles. We just hear these like crazy like wacky batshit beliefs like that these preachers like to do, and it's like there's all these like Christian truth people, man. That they're like, no man, the Bible's infallible. It's like this is like Jesus is our perfect word, man. But like, I mean, like they're basically, it's like they admit that basically things from the Bible being taken away. They admit that stuff like the Book of Enoch and like the Book of Jasher is like true and stuff. Like I believe the Book of Enoch's true. Like I believe it's true. But like they admit that stuff's like that's true. They admit that like there's like a world government that's happening, and like that like the churches are ran by Freemasons and stuff, right? And they also admit that like our governments and stuff are ran by the Freemason Illuminati. Like Satan like runs our governments, right? But they fail to see how this means that Christianity could be hijacked. Because like, dude, if Satan runs world governments, well, like, I mean, Christianity, that was a state religion used by governments. It's like, if Satan runs the churches, then, like, he definitely messed with the doctrine. He would have definitely messed with the doctrines. Like, what about Constantine and the Council of Nicaea? It's like, there's still Christians out here who are trying to say, oh, man, if you, like, don't believe Jesus, you'll go to hell, bro. Like, that's stupid, man. It's like, you can't, like, I don't understand, like, how people don't see this, like, especially, like, Christian truthers, man. So I think, like, I'm not telling you to stop believing your beliefs, but I'm saying, like, you should really need to consider it. Like, I really think that if the millennial reign's over, then I think that Christianity's definitely being hijacked. Like, it's like, Satan, like, if Satan would have done this, man, he would have done this. Like, I think the Illuminati, the Freemasons would have done this. Like, it's like they would be trying to pull their, like, biggest joke and stuff to basically make it seem like Christianity's the worst religion in the world, and like make it seem like it's the worst thing that ever existed, because it kind of was for a lot of people. It's like, yeah, like I think that Christianity got hijacked. I think that if the millennial reign's over, Israel's America, I think Christianity got hijacked. But with that said, I'm saying that I think that like a lot of like, I don't know, Bible conspiracy stuff, like stuff like the Council of Nicaea and all that could have still happened even if the millennial reign was over, even if Israel's America. Like I think like my idea is that Constantine, if that was his name, if that wasn't like a fake thing made up, could have been like one of the emperors who was in the Roman Empire and stuff after like Christianity started and Jesus was crucified. There could have been like more time in between it than we think. And he could have like altered the Bible, altered Christianity, hijacked it or something. Or like this could have happened after the reset or something, right? Like Constantine could have been an emperor who was around just after the reset, man. So I think that Christianity got hijacked somewhat somehow. So yeah, to explain like I don't know, I guess like what I think happened right after the reset, whether it was millennial reign or not. I think that after the reset, I think that, after the reset, I think that, like, there was, like, a cataclysmic event, but I think that, like, lots of people survived this event. I think that, like, the reason, like, why these buildings were ruined, like, I think the reason why there were native tribes and stuff, like the Maori, or, like, the Native Americans, the Mapuche, or the Cherokee, or, like the African tribes or whatever, or, like, the Zulus or whatever, I think the reason why we have tribes like that, even though there's been a reset, and like, even though we have totalitarian buildings, like, I think the reason why they don't, like, really know much about that is because I think they're the descendants of the people that survived it. Like, I think that the people who survived, the mud flood and stuff, I think they were like trying to figure out how to survive it. They were like trying to look for food. They were trying to like, they were really desperately scrambling to not die, basically, because they were probably running out of food. They were probably not used to not having like luxurious stuff. Like, imagine if like the grid went out now. Like, we wouldn't know what to do, man. So they were probably surviving and stuff. So, wait, let me climb that call. Oh, I apologize for that. My friend was calling me. But, like, basically, I think that after that, they were, like, trying to hunt for stuff and all that. And I think that, that's why. But I also think that the reason, like, well, I think the way that all happened was basically this. I think that during the reset and stuff, I think that, like, there were like some kind of elite bunkers before the reset. Basically, we had some bunkers and stuff, kind of like the bunkers in South Island, New Zealand, or in Switzerland or whatever. And they're like the power elite, the Illuminati, and the Freemasons. They knew this stuff was going to happen, so we hid in the bunkers. And then afterwards, after the cataclysm happened, there was like they came out of their like bunkers and stuff, and they kind of reestablished society. I think it happened in China and Europe, maybe India, but like. I think that's like what the Middle Ages were. They basically set up a dystopian society with all these slave peasants, and they were trying to basically rebuild society in their image, and they enslaved us. You know, I think that like if you're European, that like there's a chance that lots of us could be descended from these like slave class people, man. That like these assholes enslaved, and I think like a lot of the Middle Ages stuff and like the Crusades and all that. I think that this could have just been their attempts to reconquer stuff and to like. Do their power, like, research up the Northern Crusades, I think there was, like, some post-research stuff. Like, I think those Viking people were, like, post-apocalyptic people. Maybe, like, Hyperborea was, like, more recent or something. But, like, basically, I think it was, like, everything that was mentioned in Mad Max and the Book of Eli and stuff was basically reset stuff. Like, basically, it was, like, what happened just after the reset. By the way, you should check out the Book of Eli. That's a good movie. But, yeah, basically, I think that's what happened. I think that this is, like, what happened, and I think that, yeah, I think that's what happened, and basically I think like after, people think that, I don't know, right after the Millennial reign happened, the nations got deceived or whatever, but in my opinion, I don't think that happened. I think we actually had a few hundred years and stuff of just post-apocalyptic tribes, and that's why we have people like Aboriginals and all that stuff. So yeah. And there are two more things I want to say before I go. Number one, I think that like the colonization of the world and stuff was basically the elites trying to reconquer it. Like imagine the Fallout. If you know like what Fallout is, if you have like the Enclave, they're trying to reclaim America. Well, I think like the power elites were basically like the Enclave. I think the Catholic Church and the European royals and stuff. You know, like Queen Elizabeth's family, those adrenochrome people, man, they were like the Enclave, you know, they were in their bunkers during this, like, cataclysm, this reset. They were, like, drinking adrenochrome out of, like, children, out of children and stuff, you know, well, like, everyone else was just suffering from this, like, goddamn cataclysm. They were trying to, like, escape the consequences of this. Like, I think all these, like, punishments and stuff too in the Bible, they were, like, kind of, like, resets and stuff, and cataclysms. But... yeah, I think that's what was basically happening. I wanna make more videos talking about this and talking about my reset ideas. Like I want to make mostly reset videos and government conspiracy videos from now on. But also too, if you're like a native person or you're like a part of any native indigenous ethnicity, would it be the Aboriginals, Native South Americans, Native Americans, Cherokee, African tribes, Māori people, Samoans, Polynesians, any ethnicity. You know, you might be wondering, okay, if the Tartarian like buildings and stuff exist, and this Tartaria stuff is true, then why were there no native stories about it? And basically, here's my reason why. Basically, I think the reason why was because I think all these Tartarian things, they were mostly covered up in native shrubbery and stuff. Like if you see pictures of the Mexican pyramids of the 1800s when they were just discovered, they were almost completely covered with goddamn like shrubbery and stuff. Like, and if you think about it, it kind of makes sense, right? If there's like a whole bunch of mud that goes over it, like what's going to happen to it? It's going to dry up, it's going to become dirt, and there's going to be like, I don't know, plants and stuff that grow upon it. Like that's what happens, right? So I think it just became overgrown, full of like shrubbery and stuff, dude. So yeah, so that's how it is. I want to make more videos talking about the reset and stuff, and talking about my ideas on the reset and millennial reign and Israel being America. But this is kind of just like one video I wanted to make to put out my thoughts and stuff. I hope you enjoyed the videos, and stay tuned for more videos. I'm Truth TV NZ, and I'm out. Peace.